The cleansing. There was a hush in the air, expectation and energy of a greater power exudes and permeates throughout the lands. Where once had been light is only darkness like never before. No light shining anywhere to shed upon the disaster of all disasters of devastation worldwide. Where there were continents, there is no more. The oceans had covered places that once held life. Even the oceans seemed to be dead with bubbling steam. The vapors lifted into the darkness cynically. The lapping of the waves on deserted black beaches echo in the still of the dark. The heavens have no moon or stars, just a rank odor of death and destruction. Land that survived the shift of the oceans now smoldering. If there had been an area of habitation left of man, now nothing but rubble with smoke. Vegetation that survived were charred black soot from the ashes that were still falling from the skies above. Lightning streaked through the dark skies as if it was searching for a place to strike that had not been touched yet, only all had been touched. If one was to listen to the winds blowing, it was almost as if Satan himself was bellowing aloud his approval of the status of mankind from his throne of his negativity and destruction. The end of life here, as we know it, came suddenly. Without the warning signs of it breaking loose, it came unannounced. The heavens darkened and the hand of change came swiftly. And as it descended, there was chaos among the masses. Fires engulfed buildings, people trying to flee the cities and towns. Looters pillaged the empty buildings to take, but it was all for naught. There was nowhere to run and take stolen things. Death was all around. There were men, women, and children screaming in fear, automobiles stuck in miles of gridlock trying to flee. There were crumbling cities and towns, nowhere to go as the ground underneath them shook and cracked open, swallowing up in its crevices. Those who took refuge in the skies in planes or jets, they simply plummeted to their demise into the ground. The wildlife fared no better. Birds fell from the skies to their deaths. The domestic animals mostly charred by fires or were trampled, and others run over by human beings fleeing in hysteria. Wildlife in the mountains and jungles were stampeded into a frenzy, fleeing fires or floods that engulfed their habitats if the earth didn't just swallow them up. Some mountains sunk into the ground, some became angry, spewing volcanic monsters. The lava flowed over villages and towns into jungles, over cities of steel, until it found its way to the seas. Ocean creatures floated to the top of the rough seas. Death came as ocean temperatures climbed to boiling points. There were no more continents of recognition. The lines once drawn by man to separate and segregate existed no more. As time passed, the smoke dissipated. The ashes began to settle, and oceans cooled. The earth stopped rumbling, and there was once again stillness. Not one human being was left. Only a few creatures and insects held life's breath. Something else occurred simultaneously as the gates of Armageddon flung open. Another gate opened into a higher level. It is known by some as a higher vibration, enlightenment, a different dimension that runs parallel to this world. A dimensional porthole open to the mirrored parallel Earth. There were many souls that had already entered this dimension prior to the Earth's transition, and it held its energy for others to follow. They held its energy along with light beings and entities that had prepared these places of energy and sent messengers to lead others to its gates. As those that were fleeing for their lives during the mass destruction, there were others that knew of this Earth event coming and had prepared themselves to move up into the new dimension, silently and quietly, without fear of what was happening around them. An observer watching this great dimensional shift would have seen the individuals just simply fade into nothingness. If the aura could be seen, it would have appeared as a great white light surrounding their bodies. This other world was the prophesied heaven on earth as ancient scripture, and native elders spoke of a mirror image of the old world, only as it was intended to be by the Creator. The doors of knowledge held at bay, now wide open. Earth and this new dimension were not the only places that were experiencing changes. Domains of the spirit worlds were also going through change, and each level was being adjusted to fit the needs of each soul that was to engage in yet another lesson guides. And the masters were in waiting for those that had left Earth in death to readjust and become cleansed from their lessons of selfishness, hate, and destruction. Others contracted in the spirit world to continue their life on the parallel world that mirrored their old one. They came in as walk-ins and watchers to join human beings already there.